What's up guys, Lifting here. I just want to show you my current build project. It is a blood magic explosive arrow marauder, or more specifically Chieftain. And the reason I've decided to go for the Chieftain route is that I'm going blood magic. And when you go blood magic, you obviously get a lot of life here, but it also means you most likely won't be reserving a lot of mana, because obviously you don't want to kill yourself, you don't want to reduce your life pool too much. And so to overcome that, instead of using Warlord's Mark to have leech or to generate endurance charges or so many other things that auras or curses can provide, I felt like the Chieftain was a really solid choice, because first of all, when we look at the Chieftain, like, it has that theme of getting you more fire and life regeneration, or fire damage and life regeneration, which is obviously great for explosive arrow as we scale the fire damage there, which also gives some burn damage and so forth. But the life regeneration also makes blood magic much more nice to run, and life regeneration is a pretty underrated defense by itself. So I felt the Chieftain was really good for that. Besides that, I'm also getting Nagamu's Flames Advance, or however you pronounce that, and this gives us a 15% chance to ignite, and it gives 35% more or increased damage against burning enemies. And then we have something like Ramakos here. This gives us even more life regeneration per endurance charge, and I will be picking up both this charge here together with this one here, and this charge up here, and I may get the endurance charge from Oak as well, so that's gonna be a lot of life regeneration we get from this, together with the chance of, or 20% chance of us getting an endurance charge when we kill a burning enemy, which of course is a very nice bonus. And this means I don't have to use either Enduring Cry or Warlord's Mark to generate those endurance charges. So overall, very nice. Besides that, Hinakoras here gives us fire damage leech. So that again means that something like Warlord's Mark is not going to be necessary, or some other way of getting leech. And we get fire penetration. So that's of course pretty sweet. I think the 20% of physical damage is extra fire damage. The good thing about that is that it actually ignites the monsters on the first hit before the explosion goes off on explosive arrow, which makes this one here more powerful, as it gives us increased damage against those burning enemies. And then of course finally 40% increased armor, elemental resistance, and reduced mana cost of skills and strength. The strength is nice because that's more life. The armor is very nice because we won't be running any of the enfeebled blasphemy setups or other auras that kind of gives us some defensive bonuses. So the increased armor is pretty sweet here. And of course elemental resistance, this makes it easier for us to gear. And then reduced mana cost of skills is okay, because we are using the life here to fuel it, so it makes it a little easier. And the reason for not going Resolute Technique, which is what people typically will do, is because I'm picking up Elemental Overload up here. So I want to make sure I'll be able to crit, so I can proc that and get the damage. That then of course means that I need to be able to hit, and to fix that I'm picking up both Precision here for the accuracy, movement speed, and attack and cast speed, together with this note down here, Versatility, for the attack speed again, reduced mana cost, and then accuracy, which also makes my gearing easier. Attack speed is nice as well, and it just works overall pretty well. And then fire damage, life regen, of course, barbarism to help with reflect damage as well. I may run an Essence Worm ring with Purity of Fire if necessary later on to help with reflect damage, but I'm not sure yet. And then other than that, I'm simply just going up into this part of the tree, picking up all the area damage together with the explosive impact here as well, branching over towards the witch, more area damage, and then some fire damage up here. It's a fairly simple tree. It gives us a lot of life, and there's room for more if you want to. You could go down here as well, you could go down here. And then of course eventually, to really scale this amount of life, if you get the good gear, like a Comb's Heart would be amazing for this type of build, as it also increases the fire damage. You could also go Elementalist, as I mentioned, for Shape of Desolation for a nice damage boost, less reflected damage from Paragon of Calamity, and of course Pendulum of Destruction and things like that. But I just feel like when you are going blood magic, I really feel like the Chieftain opens up for some interesting opportunities for you to generate those endurance charges, life regeneration, I really kind of like that. And my current setup is Explosive Arrow with Quality on, so it has a higher chance to ignite, then greater multiple projectiles, chance to ignite, fire penetration, and less duration. I may change this out to slower projectiles later on in the game, because if you get quality on that, it will end up dealing more damage than less duration. And it really isn't necessary, but it is kind of nice that you get the charges to explode faster. For really late game, if you were to get a 6-link, you could also add in a leveled Empower, which would be very, very nice. Besides that, I'm using a Hyrri's Bite because of the increased radius of area skills, the attack speed, and then it gives us a lot of dexterity and intelligence, which is very useful, so we don't have to spec into the notables here. And so overall, it's a very nice budget Quiver right now, and that's what we're rolling with at the moment. And this is what I'm working on right now, guys. I'll keep you updated. I think this build has the potential to become very, very tanky, fairly budget friendly, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't die before I actually get to test it out in late game. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?